everybody, and welcome back to First and Last. This First and Last happens to also be the very last episode of Season 6. That's right, you have made it to our award show, the First and Lasties. I was waiting for you guys to do a little clap or something.
TV's biggest night.
Yeah. My name is Josh, and with me this week we've got Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
What's up, dogs? Pasta dogs? Pasta pups?
Nothing much. Ooh. Were you Benjamin Buttoning? We're getting younger.
Yeah. You know.
Little pasta babies.
Pasta babies. This is First and Last. Normally, what we do is we watch the first and last episode of a TV show. Joe normally explains that, but we're not doing that this week, so don't even worry about it. Throughout the course of Season 6, we watched 25 glorious, some not so glorious, TV shows, and we're going to do a little clip show. No.
Essentially.
Oh, man. Clip show would actually take work. We'd have to, edit that together.
Yeah, yeah. I think a clip show probably sounds like a great idea for a finale for a writer, but it's like a nightmare for the editors.
Next season, to save budget, instead of doing an episode, we'll just do a clip show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, while I edit the next season's episodes, I'll just go, okay, that was a good 30-second clip, and then I'll cut it, and I'll put it in a different file. So then when we get to the First and Lasties, I don't even do anything. I just hit export on the file because I threw in 25, 30-second clips
Yeah.
of a 12-and-a-half-minute show.
It's like a few random clips, and then in the end, it's just 5 minutes straight of coughing.
I bet I got 5 minutes of Joe coughing just in general, so I think we're good. I think when the episode that I wasn't here this season in Ghost Rider, Joe, you were kept clearing your throat, and then Claire was like, "Why are you doing that so much?" And you were like, and then you go, "Man, Josh must talk a lot during this. It's too much. It's more talking than I'm used to."
Yeah, and her mic was in my coughing space where I usually put my head away to go cough, but that's where mic number 2 is.
Picked you up good. It was funny. It was a funny little thing.
You didn't edit out all those coughs?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Depends on how funny they are.
There's an automated filter that filters out coughs.
Yeah, I've built a bot that just sweeps Joe's tracks now and just looks for and it gets rid of it.
Looks for coughs and jokes that don't land. Just takes them out.
No, well, it just pushes the not funny jokes to the left to the left ear.
Yeah.
Pan the funny jokes to the right.
Yeah.
So the First and Lasties that you know and love.
I sure know them.
We usually start with some analytics, right? That's how this works.
Yeah.
I think that's
it's like we're relearning to walk every single time we do this award show.
Yeah.
And a little data appetizer.
Yeah, it's that beginning 4 hours of red carpet that no one watches, and and all the awards of editing and sound engineering that they just tune in later.
Mm-hmm.
No one's trying to watch some young Nickelodeon kid interview movie stars walking into the red carpet, you know?
What's the Conan O'Brien's dog thing? Puppet? You know what I'm talking about?
Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Yeah, he's done some great red carpet work. So anyway,
for me to
I've got some
on.
stuff. What? He poops?
I got it. I got you.
Slipped that in there. So I did the analytics a little different this time. Try to do something a little fun, try to switch it up. But first of all, do you guys think you know what the most popular pod episode this season would have been?
This season.
Are these from where are the stats coming from? All streaming?
Yeah. Streams and downloads.
I don't know, maybe something weird like Stargate Atlantis.
Well, the whole season was
Nope.
episode 134 to 158. Started with Newsroom, ended with
Yeah.
Power
So
Rangers
it goes
Wild
back
Force.
to April
Mm-hmm.
2020.
It's interesting that this entire season we did remote.
Yeah.
Like we like had just started doing these remote, which made me think that the last show from last season was Fear Factor, which means that Fear Factor was like the last thing that I watched with other people.
That's a shame.
man.
That was the
I
last
guess
like
I
show
feel-
or movie that I've watched with other people for like months.
I guess I feel bad that I picked that show then. I couldn't have known though, right? Like I couldn't have known.
That's crazy. So wait, did we do that first and lasties in person?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wild. One whole
Yeah, and then
quarantine
I think-
season.
Starting with Newsroom, then we started to watch all these remote. So most
Weird.
popular, yeah, I guess that would be my guess. Something weird for like Stargate or, like Penny Dreadful for some reason.
Big
I just wanted to go like self-deprecating and assume that the one episode I wasn't on, Ghost Rider, was the best one
Aw.
or the most popular one.
No, actually, oddly, people refuse to listen to that one.
No one. It's got negative views.
Yeah.
That one, I'm not on it.
Scared of ghosts.
Negative.
They gave those downloads back and are demanding a refund. Nope, both wrong, all wrong. That 70s show is the highest.
People like getting high, if you know what I mean.
Interesting. And then it's followed by Sons of Anarchy, and then Full House.
Okay,
So
we did have some pretty like big name shows in this season.
yeah, it was a big season. I was surprised Seinfeld's not higher on that
Mhm.
list. Actually, I
People
better
are
check
over
and make
Seinfeld.
sure.
The kids today don't recognize Seinfeld as being one of the funniest shows that's ever been made.
That's fair.
Kids these days, man.
Like Jake's younger brothers, who are mid-20s, don't like. Have you seen Seinfeld? And they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I heard they're
What's
like,
a Seinfeld?
I heard old people like you like it, and I'm like, I'm only 35. And they're like, yeah, but we're young and in our 20s.
Yeah, I guess it would be, if it's like about a 10-year difference, it'd be like someone 10 years ago being like, hey, have you seen like MASH? What a show.
And I'd be like, I've seen the first and the last. And that's I'm fine now. I don't need to be sad every Wednesday night or whenever MASH was on. Good show, just sad.
MASH is excellent.
Same with Seinfeld.
Yeah, I should go back and watch MASH.
Yeah,
There's way
we
too
did
much
go.
MASH though.
We did go back to like some old. We tried to give retribution to a couple different shows,
Yeah.
like this season. As in, we went back to Stargate. Stargate SG-1 was such a gem. We decided to go back to see the sequel show to it, Stargate Atlantis.
Yep.
Obviously, we had 2 Power Rangers in this season.
Like we
One
do.
day we'll finish that.
Yeah.
You know?
Wild Force, Time Force.
All the forces. I
Season-
think there's plenty more forces.
probably. Okay, you wanna? Should I dive into my next little bit here?
Yeah, do your bit, Jimmy.
My bit, my follow-up analytics bit is our top 10 episodes of all time.
Oh.
Okay?
Frasier.
No, shut up. So number 10, the 10th most listened to pod episode was Alias. It remains to be Alias, which I think
That
is
was
interesting.
That was a bad finale, if I remember correctly.
I honestly
I
don't.
feel like she ends up on an island or something at the end. Like they have one last mission and then she like escapes or something.
Like it just Lost starts from the end of Alias. Is that what you're-
It's just Castaway.
We have to go back.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it again.
I think we should go sideways instead
Ooh.
in season 5.
Was that? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Number 9 is Cheers.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Popular show.
Yeah. I think that's season 2, right? Because we did.
Yeah, back when we used to do Frasier shows at the beginning of season,
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer shows at
Yeah.
the
Tune
beginning
in
of season.
next week. See if we do a Frasier show. If there are any left. 8 was Will and Grace, which I was not there for. 7 is Code Geass
Whoa.
with our resident anime expert Nick.
They just wanted to listen to us say code like goose over and over and over again until I think maybe an hour into that episode we might realize how to say it correctly.
Yeah, a bunch of anime heads listened to that episode and then like looked at the rest of our episode list and got real disappointed.
Yeah, we're probably due for an anime. Gotta get those people back. 6 was The West Wing, which makes me very happy.
And I'm sure everyone listening to that was extremely happy with me.
Well.
West Wing's just a very podcast friendly show. I feel like
Yeah, for sure.
people who listen to podcasts and people who like the West Wing, it's like the Venn diagram's a perfect circle, so that makes
Who
sense.
doesn't like a nice slightly comedic review show that bastardizes the TV show that they love?
Yeah. It got the clicks, man. It got the clicks.
Speaking of, I think I just heard something weird about Aaron Sorkin today, that he might be like in jail or something. I'll have to Google that at the break,
No.
perhaps.
Free
'Cause
Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, he had a like falling out in the middle of this, where he I think he went to jail or something for like drugs. Anyway,
How did he even during COVID?
no. Wait, yes, now, but I mean during West
Yeah, yeah.
Wing, there's like
Yeah.
2 seasons. It gets really wacky. Like the plots just get wild.
Okay.
And it's clear that Aaron Sorkin is no longer there. And then it gets better.
So not now. Like
But
you're saying-
I heard today
Oh.
something about like jail and Aaron Sorkin in the same sentence. Anyhow,
Okay.
number 5, our very own First and Lasties episode.
Oh, interesting.
People just want more. You know?
They were like, one and done. The first one was the best one.
People like award shows. We should do them like twice a season now.
Mid-season awards.
Like a
Yeah.
like a mid boss halfway through the season.
They're gonna start doing like mid-season Emmys, like at the winter break.
This show wins the Emmy for I hope it's gonna be good in the end.
Number 4, starting to get good here. Breaking Bad, which I'm not surprised by.
I
Yeah,
firmly
another very
believe
popular
that show believes in most people's top 5 shows of all time. So luckily, it's in our top 5 shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Top
think that
5
is
listen
correct.
to. Okay, but number 3 is Josh's new Frasier, Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I mean, nothing's my new Frasier. Frasier's my Frasier. But
Sure. Number 2. Are we ready for this? Sex in the City.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's
And
not
I
a joke
remember-
response?
No. Did it have like a resurgence in the last like 3 years? Was there like a movie that came out that people were searching Sex
I
in the
don't
City
think
pods?
so. I think I want to say that like maybe it got some clicks because it has sex in the title, but I feel like for a long time we listed this episode as just like unlisted title.
Oh yeah.
It was question marks for a while because I had a quiz for you guys at the beginning of that, and I didn't want to ruin the quiz for anyone listening for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is amazing that like it's gotten a pod resurgence.
Yeah, it had 1,000 streams when it was question marks. People, maybe we should do more question mark titles.
Yeah, it's one of the. I mean, it's a fine line we walk through, you know, because it's like you don't want to ruin like the what's the show today, Joe, and then they're all like, well, I fucking clicked on it. I know it's Bob's Burgers, you twat. Like,
wow.
I've been watching a lot of British TV recently, just FYI. So
Nice.
I get into some Cockney slang. That's why.
some Cockney swears.
Yeah,
And then
that's
number
right.
one.
What's number one, governor?
Okay. It is, of course, Frasier.
Oh, really? Man,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones isn't in the top 10?
No.
People were so mad about the ending they didn't want to know what we had to say about it.
They're
Even
done.
I thought it would have been number 1. Man.
Yeah. There's still time.
But good. Yeah, good for Frasier.
Yeah. I mean,
he needs the support.
If nothing else, it's our very first episode. So if people start a pod from the beginning, for whatever reason that people would do that.
They did. Thank you. Thank you for listening to our first episode over and over and over again. It's appreciated.
Yeah, I could go back and listen.
Those were great. Actually, it's kind of fun to know what the top 10 are. What kind of shows we need to just keep redoing. Just do those ones over and over again to make sure people like us.
Yeah.
Bring our self-esteems up a little bit.
Let's just do Frasier again.
Oh, man. I would do it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, I guess it's probably about time to have a break then before we get into the next section of the first and lasties.
Mm-hmm.
But can one of you two remind me what the next section is before we take the break? You know, as a cliffhanger for everybody.
I believe the next section is the best and worst.
Okay.
Of the first.
So
and
we do
lasties.
the best and worst, and we'll take another break, and then we're gonna do the superlatives and say who the winner of season 6 is at the very end.
The big reveal.
The big reveal.
That everyone
Stay
cares
tuned.
so much about. I do.
All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with the best and worst first and lasts this season. We did a lot of sitcoms this season, guys.
We did?
We did a lot of the we did some more TGIFs, right?
Well, Sister
Is that what
Sister
you
was
mean?
part of TGIF. I just figured that we might want to just do a rundown of the episodes that we did before we get in to our worsts and bests.
Yeah, that's a good call. I
of
don't
the
know that we've
season.
done that before.
I think we kind of have, but maybe not. But so we did 25 shows, obviously, and I guess I'll just name them off, and feel free, guys,
go listen to those?
to talk about them while I say them. If you want to say a few words, as if they were our dying friends in this end of season 6.
Man.
So we started off with the Newsroom.
Ugh.
Definitely a Jimmy show.
The best. I just realizing I forgot to look up the Aaron Sorkin news.
And then followed it up in order with That 70s Show, Arrested Development. We went over to Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
Joe showed us Party Down. What's his name? Adam something? Adam Scott?
Adam Scott. That's him. Mm-hmm.
Adam Scott. Penny Dreadful, The Bernie Mac Show, Full House, I think I was mad about the Bernie Mac show being the only comedian-led sitcom, so I did Seinfeld after that. We had Saved by the Bell. Jimmy try as he might try to get us hooked on Psych.
Yeah, Psych was fun in the end.
Yeah. I mean, did you watch? Were you watching a little bit more of it, Joe?
No, but
okay.
But I'm intrigued.
I thought maybe you. Okay. The only show on this list that I then went back and watched all of is The In-Betweeners.
That was a fun show.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
British.
Quick one. Just Shoot Me was the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Sons of Anarchy. The first of our Power Rangers was Power Rangers Time Force.
What a time.
And then we also finished the season off then with Power Rangers Wild Force.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite we've all got our Prowl phones on order from Amazon, I believe.
I thought it was Growl phone.
Oh wait, shit. Yeah, it's Growl phone.
Prowl phone. It sounds like a different thing.
Yikes.
Yee, that's a different show altogether. Schitt's Creek we did after Time Force though.
Mm-hmm.
And then we followed into Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And then My So-Called Life.
That was one season, right?
My So-Called Life was, yeah. Yep.
With Jared Leto.
Yeah. And was that Claire Danes too?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? What happened?
I don't even know.
IMDb apparently has ads.
We just got copyright struck because you had a weird ad, Jimmy. Oh my God! Literally, I think you just erased my brain. I don't even know. Aquarius was after My So-Called Life.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
60s
the David
murder show.
Yeah,
the Marilyn
David
Manson.
Duchovny.
Not Marilyn Manson. Charles Manson.
Yeah. And then Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I mean, I didn't give it an award, but definitely the worst name of a TV show.
I was anticipating whether you'd be able to say it in one shot or not.
And I didn't just now. I failed. I slipped myself up there because I wrote Terminator : SCC when I should have said : TSCC. So I messed my own self up there. Ghost Rider.
Yeah. A hit.
Best episode
episode we've ever had. And then the last three I haven't mentioned was Sister Sister, Stargate Atlantis, and Bojack Horseman were the other ones that we did this season.
Finished strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. But now, all shows were good in their own way, but some shows have to be labeled the worst.
It's true.
Who wants to deliver their worst show first?
I could go. I was a little conflicted. Because again, there were a lot of like pretty good shows, and then even for shows that I didn't like so much, a lot of them just like got kind of interesting by the end, so it felt weird like claiming it as the worst. But like there was one show in particular that just like the beginning wasn't what I thought it was, and then the ending wasn't really an ending. So I went with Just Shoot Me.
I also went with Just Shoot Me.
Okay.
Really quick though, isn't that the one we messed up?
Yes, it is. It is.
Is it? How so?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
watched.
We talked about it on the episode. We watched the wrong last episode in the show.
Yeah.
Because they had 4 unaired episodes. So on Hulu, or where I think that's where we watched it.
Josh didn't do his homework and made us watch.
Was it my show?
It absolutely. Well, could have been mine.
I
don't know.
Just Shoot Me sounds like a Joe show to me.
It does sound like a me show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm remembering that now because the last episode was some sort of ghost thing, but like there actually was an episode where they were saying goodbye to Jack or whatever. Yeah. I think I'm confusing it because I went back. Yeah, I think that's why I thought we watched the real one, because I went back and watched the rap.
Yeah.
In my defense, I chose it as the worst, and I actually did go back and watch the real finale.
Yeah. Oh, wait, so Josh, did you have a different
Yes,
worst?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was yours?
I did have a different worst. But really quick before I do that though. So Jimmy, you actually watched like the full last episode of that show then, and
I
it
did.
still didn't like stick with you.
Right.
Still bad.
That is correct.
Still just.
We talked about that, how we were going to do that on the pod. It was our homework. You guys
Yeah, I
didn't do it.
Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't do
Fail.
it. But it also didn't. I mean, maybe it would have gotten my worst then if I would have went back and actually did the homework. But I didn't. I say a lot of things in this microphone. I don't mean any of them, Jimmy. So mine is potentially. I think it's potentially like a little controversial in a way. There's probably shows that are maybe a little bit worse than this one, but I kind of got this. The reason I came up with it is because I feel like the last episode was such a letdown for what type of show it was and for like how passionate I obviously know like the audience of this show would be.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was into it, I would be kind of mad on how that worked. And I was mad on how that worked in a different show very similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
How when you're waiting for something to happen, you know everything about the characters in the show essentially going into it, and then how you know how it should end or what you want to see at the very end or hopefully before that, and it doesn't really quite pay off.
You know that we didn't do Game of Thrones this season, right?
Yeah, I do. I do. Also, people watching Game of Thrones, Jimmy, didn't know how it was supposed to end because the books. He'll never finish the books ever.
Aw.
So, for the most part. Now, I'm talking about comic book fans and Gotham that we watched.
Got ham.
Interesting.
The problem I have with Gotham and why I named it the worst, because in all honesty, I don't even think it's a bad show. I think it's a pretty good show, and I think it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a Batman show in reality. It's a
Sure.
Jim Gordon show.
Yeah, it's Batman minus Batman.
But that's not how they really acted what it was. And so my reasoning is I watched all of Smallville for real, and all you wanted to do was have him put on the cape and fly around like Superman for a while so you could see everything you've been like trudging through for multiple seasons just happen. And the same thing kind of happened in Gotham where people waited and waited and waited, and they just wanted to like, they wanted him to like put the cape on, well, his cowl,
Right.
I guess. And all you saw like an arm. You saw like an arm go and like a little cape movement. And you didn't really there just wasn't a payoff, I feel like, in the end. I feel like the whole show's fan service, and it ended with a nah.
Yeah, they never. Yeah, so they did that whole like finale, or like half of that finale is just like a skip ahead time to where he's already Batman. So like you spend all this time and he's like on the journey, but then they just like we're getting canceled, so they skip to the end or something, you know?
Right.
So
And they could have skipped through the end, but I'm just like, I don't think we once in that entire episode even saw a full body Batman.
Yeah.
Like not even that.
yeah, you're probably right.
You give me one Batman fight scene in that episode, and I think it's almost all worth it.
Yeah. I think while we're on Gotham, maybe I'll go ahead and like hand it my superlative award that I was going to give it later.
Okay.
Nice.
But I was maybe I'll come up with another one. We'll see. But I was going to give it the Try Again award because I think I like the idea of a Gotham show, of just like a Batman minus Batman show, but I just don't think that the way they went with it, with like them starting kind of really young with Bruce Wayne, was really what I'm looking for. I was trying to think of like an alternate pitch of what an interesting like Jim Gordon show would be, because we've just had a lot of Batman, right? And it's like all of Batman now is like gritty, and so it's not like you could just take it more dark and more realistic. It's like not that interesting. But My thought was if you're gonna like go away from Batman and go into like the cop angle of it, maybe you focus in on like Jim Gordon is like a good cop, and we've seen this stuff before with like Jim Gordon being the only good cop and all the rest of the cops are like corrupt. But what if it's not corruption? What if it's just that like Jim Gordon's like a good detective and trying to like solve crime and fight crime, but the rest of the cops are just like really hyped up on like full militarization of the cops, where they're like Jim's like trying to like solve mysteries and they're just like, well, we got the warrant, why don't we just like go in blazing with guns and like we'll figure this out later. Which I think would be an interesting way to like look at like police issues, especially. And then I could see like where it gets to a point where, you know, maybe 3 seasons in, like, you know, the cops are starting to listen to Jim and Jim feels like he's like making good headway on like turning around the police department. And then all of a sudden Batman shows up and now like Batman is just like going in blazing and like beating the shit out of criminals. And he's like, wait a second, that's not how you solve crime either.
Yeah, that would be really, I while you were talking, that would be really cool is if essentially they started the show off and there's no real semblance of the Wayne family at all.
Yeah, I think
like
They
like, mention them, obviously, because they're a staple within Gotham. But like, there's no characters in which you see. You don't see Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
you don't see his family.
I think if you're really gonna do the no Batman thing, like start in the period where Bruce Wayne is gone, like where he's off on his like I'm trying to be a ninja thing, and then you could just like bring him back in all of a sudden, and now there's Batman.
You could have an entire last season then of like Jim dealing with Batman, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, a masked vigilante. That's not good.
Yeah. And then him coming to grips with that it's like it's working and he's like I don't really think this is what I wanted, but he seems like I guess a stand-up dude based on being a vigilante ninja man dressed as a bat. I think you made a better Gotham, Joe, just now.
I'd watch it. I'd watch Gotham with, you know, social commentary.
Yeah, I think certain people would watch it. I think other people would be like, there's no Batman? What is this?
Yeah, but there wasn't a Batman either in this one. Like, you know,
yeah.
I mean...
Because it was the origins and that was the point of it, is the origins of Batman, of Catwoman, of all the baddies. It was more about, like... Well, and Jim Gordon was, like, the main plot point, but, like... Every episode was like furthering the origins of your favorite Gotham baddies.
Right. Yeah. I would just say like it might just have been better if it started with no Waynes at all. And then in a season or 2, they added them and that's fine. But they really established like this city is doing this and this city, how it's working, and with these people and these bad guys and these cops and this stuff in it. This is like the development of why Batman came along. Like that's, I mean, you're telling the origin story of Batman without Batman, and I think that would work like that. You know,
I'll start it as a comic book then.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Draw it up. Okay. So Joe,
2 trophies for Gotham now.
Nice. Starting off strong. Getting the negative.
Yeah, were we rolling on to bests?
I guess you guys.
Well, we didn't actually talk about why we thought Just Shoot Me was bad.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it. I just that like I remember really liking Just Shoot Me. And then, so I had high hopes for watching it. And then when we watched the first episode, I was like, that didn't like seem as funny as I thought it was going to be. And then when we went to the finale, I was like, well, by this time it's like going to be cooking. And I'm sure there's going to be, you know, maybe some like Frasier-esque heartstrings that they pull at. And granted, we watched the wrong last episode, but we watched, you know, a later season episode and it was, still not that good. And then when I did watch like the supposed heartwarming scene from the real finale, it was David Spade rapping. So I don't know that sold for me either.
Yeah, they like attempted at some Frasier heartstring pulls, but like the second that it got like serious, they just throw in like a sex joke and kill it like immediately. And which is like, that's what this show is.
Uh-huh.
but it's like to the point where it's just like crass and meaningless. It just doesn't play. By the time you try to do something serious, it's like it just doesn't play.
Yeah, at the point that you make everything a joke, then it is just sort of meaningless.
Right.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of other sitcoms that do essentially even what they were trying to do way better.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Way better. Like at least 2 times better. So
Better we undo.
everyone has a best one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Who wants to say it first?
I'm deciding right now, and I'm picking.
Oh, you're picking your first right now?
yeah.
Well, hey, I'll just tell you mine then.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
While you pick yours. Way to do your homework, Joe. No, I think that was like that last season. I was like, I have like 2 of them, and I can't decide, and I just have to like.
I haven't
There's a
narrowed
lot of good
down.
ones.
So
There's a lot of good ones. I think my best one was a little bit similar to why my worst one was the worst based on just like pretty much how it worked and the legitimate expectations that I think they needed to deliver to make this a successful show. In the Newsroom is my best one.
Yes.
And the reason I think that is true is just because like the first episode, I think the first episode of that show was the best episode of all like firsts of all the ones
The
we
best
saw.
pilot.
Especially because of just a basic thing of news is really boring in general, I think, you know, and they made this
Like
design, like especially in today's climate in 2020, they made the news like almost interesting, and they showed what they just did a good job in the episode of like bringing the news and being like, yeah, these guys are a lot of these people are dicks, and I don't like half of these people, but like I can like see how this like deep interconnection and like just where this show could go, and it seems so cool, and I want to watch it. And so it was just good. And then the last episode kind of just made me go, well, now I want to know what had happened in between, you know. It made me want to bring back and actually watch the rest.
and you got to see Jeff Daniels play guitar.
Oh yeah.
Should I do my superlative of the Newsroom?
And Jeff Daniels is in a garage band, so that was awesome in the last episode.
My superlative for the for Newsroom is best impromptu funeral jam session music performance.
The best impromptu funeral jam session award goes to the Newsroom.
Yeah, for season 6.
Okay.
So we'll see who wins it in season 7.
It was between that and the Terminator show, and
Nice.
Yeah. So that's mine.
You've
It
made
sounds
me
like,
so happy.
well, you know, you tried to make me get so many of your other shows be my favorite show of the season. I decided to give you one.
Yes. Finally.
Jimmy, do you want to go while Joe still picks his? Or?
Sure, man. Now I just wish. Okay, speaking of all this Aaron Sorkin speak, he's not in jail or on trial.
Okay.
He just dropped a show on Netflix that's about some famous trial.
well, there
and
you
that's
go.
what I heard from my Google speaker this morning.
Much ado about nothing. Eh?
It's supposed to be good. My best comes with an asterisk. This championship award.
What, the show was doping or what?
So it's Arrested Development.
Okay.
And it has an asterisk because we watched the original 3 seasons, and they, I think, blew it by continuing on, even though we all wanted it and asked for it so bad.
This is what
and
you
I know
wanted.
that they, yeah, this is, you get what you get. I know that, like, so the kind of the charm almost even in the third season of this is that it was starting to tank, and they were tongue in cheek about it.
Yeah, that is
and
fun.
we're dropping things and getting like all these like cameos and Zach Braff, and then bringing in Ron Howard at the end and saying, maybe this doesn't, I don't see this as a show, maybe a movie. The show in itself is a bunch of the series, that finale has a bunch of bookends to the pilot. It's even called Development Arrested, just in reverse. It's just it's just
very
excellent.
well done. Yeah. But is the asterisk just because it kept going?
Yeah, they blew it.
Yeah, it was a good possibility that I wanted to essentially make that one of my bests as well. But just, I think I decided, I was like, you know what? Everybody knows I love this show.
Sure.
It doesn't need my recognition this season. Those first 3 seasons of Arrested Development are fantastic. Still haven't finished season 5 of like one of my favorite shows of all time. Bringing myself to even watch season 5 is hard. So they should have stopped when they stopped.
Yeah.
Season
It's
5's all right.
definitely in my finalists for those exact reasons.
Yep.
But I think I'm gonna pick BoJack Horseman.
Ooh, nice.
And I think just my like simple criteria for that, because again, a lot of good shows this season and a lot of good like first episode, last episodes, but I just went based off of that's the show that of all the ones we did this season made me want to go and watch the rest of the show. So I feel like that speaks well to it being a good first and last.
Yeah.
Especially because like I haven't even finished Frasier, so if it makes me want to pick up a show, it's probably a pretty good first and last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that last episode was good. Like they just did a quality job. You could tell that they cared about it. Like it was a cartoon, and you could tell like they were like, yeah, we want everyone to have their moment, but we also want them to have their moment with Bojack because he's the main person in the show. So like this is how we're picking these people and doing it. So they did a really good job. And the first episode was sad and funny, and if you thought your heart could handle it, it did make you want to keep watching.
Yeah. Some animal humor to like lighten the mood.
Yeah.
It's just a great show. I loved how it ended very like introspectively and without actually really closing anything. I mean, it tied up his like relationships that they were basically just all ending. And it was like very sad.
Yeah.
But at the same time it was just like, yeah, you're moving on. And that's cool, and that's okay.
Happens.
Like I don't know, like it wasn't like a resolution that gives you like a closure, like a good, happy, the story's over feeling, but I think that's what I liked about it. Also.
Yeah.
That's a sad bastard show is what that is.
It's pretty much, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. Cool. Well, hey, those are our bests and worst shows in our opinions for this season. Also, fun fact is, yeah, our best and worsties. Fun fact is, none of those shows that you guys gave, any of us gave awards to, were any of the shows that I gave superlative to. So
interesting.
Yeah, so I have 4 still locked and loaded.
I might have to choose another one here quick.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're gonna take another quick break, and then we will be back with some additional awards and the reveal drum solo of who of us three won season 6 of First and Last. So we will see you after that. And we're back. We are back with the final part of the First and Lasties 6. Long-awaited winner of season 6 will be announced at some point in this part. But first, we're gonna get to some fun awards that we like to do.
Yeah.
The first awards are very serious. Now these are just for fun.
These are just for fun.
I don't know. A couple of these I'm serious about. Impromptu funeral jam session, that was very serious.
It was very, very serious.
Take
very, very
impromptu
serious.
jazz.
I mean,
Not jazz.
all mine have themes. Are they I thought about them. So, I mean, my first one, it's kind of my weakest one. So I'm just gonna get it out of the way before we start going around in a circle. And my first one was, I mean, that finale wasn't as bad as people say award.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a good idea.
All right, well, you guys say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. What is
Seinfeld?
it? Yeah. Nailed it. I remember when we watched it, and I was like, that wasn't that bad.
Felicity.
No, that was worse. I think it was worse than people say it is. Yeah. Wasn't that bad of a finale.
It was true to the nature of the show. What did you want, I guess?
Right.
For it to not end, bruh.
Yeah, you wanted like Jerry to be like moving out of the apartment or something, and then like Kramer to get married.
Right. I mean, it was literally set up at least so because it ended the show essentially, but then also if, I guess all their careers failed 5 years down the road, they could have just restarted the show again.
Mm-hmm.
That
like, we're out of print.
I'll give it to them too. This is like a very creative way to do a clip show, because this is a trial of all the characters from all over all the seasons of all the people that they screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the little bits as they're like talking about them in the trial. The character witnesses.
That's right. This award's for you, Seinfeld. This award's for you.
Nice.
And then I'll do another one then of mine, and we can talk about that, and then we'll start going in a circle if that sounds good with you guys.
Yeah,
sure.
Because I knew I had 4, which is more than most people. My next one then is and here's the deal. I bet you're gonna get this one as well, but this is the Jesus Take the Wheel award.
Your Carrie Underwood award?
most spiritual award.
Huh.
Yeah.
We didn't watch
I was
Touched
gonna-
by an Angel.
I was gonna say I was gonna call it like the accidentally Jesus award, but I was like, they did this on purpose.
Not an accident, yeah.
I can't think of what this is. Joe, what is
I
it?
feel like
Sure.
Joe knows exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus.
I don't know. That didn't help me know what it was either.
I'll send a gift.
Oh,
Just
Joe,
Joe,
Sons of Anarchy.
just tell. Yeah, there it is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah. I mean, it also should get some sort of award for like, I don't know, like most ridiculous scene at the end of any show where which is the same thing essentially, where Jax just Jesus is himself on a bike and runs head first into a semi truck and kills himself like his dad died.
Well, his dad was murdered.
Didn't they say his dad got like dragged behind something and then like lasted a couple days in the
I thought that
does sound familiar, yeah.
I thought that I think it comes out. I'm gonna have to watch the whole series again. But I think it comes out that the other like co-founder guy, who now I'm totally blanking on people's names, but that he
talking about Hellboy himself.
Yeah,
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. That he did something at least to like sabotage his bike or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that would make sense too. But so yeah, the Jesus Takes the Wheel award goes to Sons of Anarchy.
That's excellent.
What order are we gonna go in? Who's next?
I can go because Joe, you have two more or something.
Yeah, I got two more. Yeah.
I said okay, so I said my other one, the for Newsroom best impromptu funeral jam session. My next one is the awkward scene. I don't know, most awkward
The awkward
scene of the season 6.
This show had the most awkward scene.
Yeah.
God, there's so many. I think I'm like flowing through right now. Like number one, I mean, I immediately went to BoJack Horseman, a horseman having sex with multiple human women. I feel like those were awkward scenes.
It's animated.
My other thing is there was just various times within the in-betweeners, which was very awkward. There was one, wasn't there one where they just screamed boner at one of the kids?
Yeah. I feel like there's another part too where they're like barfing on each other.
Yeah. That whole show is pretty awkward. I can say that now, having watched all of it.
No, it was neither of those for my pick.
Joe, do you have any guesses on that one?
Not really, no. Can't think of anything super awkward.
Do you remember the scene in the Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the other one.
Sexy robot scene where you think they're gonna like bang and it's really weird and you're trying to like just discern what's happening, and then also while also figuring out how that's anatomically possible, and then she asks him to stab her. Like,
yeah. So
yeah. No, you go.
Okay.
Joe.
There's like a teenage girl Terminator in this show that like John Connor like kind of has the hots for. But like I forget why she's doing it, but she's having him like feel her like inner core or like energy source or something to like check it.
Some sort of checking for a leak somewhere.
Yeah, looking for a leak or something. So he's like on top of her, like feeling around in there. And he's like, it's cold.
It's just all awful. You're like, are they gonna kiss? And good times.
It was definitely unnecessary, if I can.
Especially in a finale, like it just that whole episode was
Did he have
weird,
a will they won't they with the robot girl the whole show?
I think it was mostly a won't they, but like he's not gonna act on it, but then that happens and you're like, oh god. These horny sci-fi nerds at home.
Yeah.
Going crazy.
That is for the nerds at home for sure.
I mean, it is weird. Summer Glau is pretty, but that's weird.
Yeah. So that was my number 2.
Nice.
Way to go.
So I have 2
Way to
left.
go, SCC.
What do you got, Joe? What's your what?
Yeah, so earlier I gave one to Gotham to try again. I have one that's the like not a great first and last, but I'm still probably gonna give this show a go at some point.
Ooh. Saved by the Bell.
Is your award? Your award is not that great, but I'll probably eventually watch it. Award.
Yeah. It's probably inevitable that I watch this show. Even though I was not pulled in by the first or last.
I would go with Party Down for you.
I did start that, and I did not make it very far.
Oh, bummer.
It was only 2 seasons, wasn't it?
I think so.
It's very short. Short enough
even
that I
that
should have
long.
gotten through it, and I couldn't. I don't know.
It's Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I don't remember what you guys thought of it, but like First episode was like kind of all right, and then the last episode was just, I wouldn't even say it was bad, but it was just so different from the first, and I just felt like I was like out of the loop, which happens time to time when you only watch the first and the last. But because I've just like heard so many good things about it from like a lot of different people, and they won all those Emmys, I feel like probably watch it. The hard part though is like from people who have told me it's good, they're like, oh yeah, but once you get through like the first season and like even part of the second season, then it starts to get really good. And I'm like, oh man, that's so much TV before it starts to get good.
It is really hard, and I mean it's hard for someone who loves a show or loves any form of media, like books or video games or anything, to be like, man, this is so good, I loved it. But like, you just gotta play for you gotta play for 5 hours, or you gotta you gotta read the first 10 chapters before you get it, or you gotta watch the first season and a half. And if you get through that, you're gonna get hooked.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I just want it to be good right away.
Yeah.
Like, not that it's not good, it's just like it reaches that level of just like, oh yeah,
so many things are that way though.
Yeah. Like a lot of my favorite shows are that way. Like the first season of The Office is so weird compared to the rest. Even the first season of, or at least the first few episodes of Parks and Rec is like not what it becomes, you know? It's so much better.
I still don't think I've seen all of the first season of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly.
It gets so good after that.
Those are both good shows. Watch those. Yeah, when it comes to a show like that or any form of media that someone's like, you got to get through this part, even if it's not like it's going to be good, but it's not great yet. You got to get someone that you like really trust in their tastes to be like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it because you said it's good. So
can I piggyback off of Joe's, because I have a superlative for this one that directly it's just the most growth in a show.
Oh, okay.
And the like you said, just the first episode you watch and it's like funny, but you do not care about these characters. They're not relatable at all, unless I guess you're a super rich asshole who just lost all their money.
I wish.
And then it's just ironic, I guess. I don't know. But by the end,
it's too close to home. You're just like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, it's still not great situation for you. But like by the end, you like, these are obviously very different developed characters that you really care about, and then it is also very funny, and it's just swept the comedy series Emmys. It won every single I mean, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's cool. I heard it won a lot, and I mean, obviously Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara are dope.
Yeah, they both won leading actor and actress, and then Dan Levy and Annie Murphy won Best Supporting Actor and Actress, and then it won Outstanding Comedy Series. So
they truly won everything.
And 2 superlative first and lasties, which are the icing on top.
Boom. Boom. All right. Well, I guess I'll do my next one then, which is just watch the movie.
Like, just watch the movie rather than watch this show?
Yeah. And I mean, not to give it away, I guess, but the movie's not like the show's movie, you know? It's not 6 seasons in a movie or anything.
Oh, okay.
It's just like
I was like trying to think, it's like, oh, we did X-Files before.
It's just a movie.
Sister, the movie?
It's just a movie that has essentially similar
Okay.
it talks about the same situation but in a different manner. And it's different. It's presented completely differently, but it's just like, if you're interested in this topic the show is about, just watch this movie instead. So just watch the movie. Do you know what show that is?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure Joe does.
Oh man, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Stargate has like a related movie. It could have been Stargate.
Oh yeah, it wasn't though. So, and I'll break it down for you, Jimmy. It wasn't Stargate the movie. It wasn't a Power Rangers movie. If any one of the other shows in my mind would have had one, I guess Saved by the Bell's like probably straight to DVD Lifetime movie probably wasn't it either. I don't know if that was a thing, but they could. Joe, what show am I talking about?
Aquarius.
It's true. I am talking about Aquarius.
Congratulations,
right.
Aquarius.
Right. What's the Charles Manson movie?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, obviously the tone of the movie, of that movie and the TV show are completely different. I just thought, and I'm a David Duchovny fan, and I just basically think, show was fine. If you're really into this, there's other things to watch, and I know we talked about it a bunch on the podcast, but it's like that movie is just good.
Yeah.
And it's the same topic essentially.
Yeah.
So just
Old
watch
Hollywood
that movie.
And the Manson family. It's just a little bit more interesting, the things going on there. Plus Brad Pitt and Leo, man, they're just hanging,
What?
being bros.
Yeah, and
why have I not seen this? What the hell?
I don't know, man. How have you not seen it just in general? Because it's a Quentin Tarantino film, and you love Quentin Tarantino.
Is it the one? Oh, it came out last year.
It came out when you could still go to theaters, Jimmy, so you had no excuse.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Huh.
Get on that, buddy.
Huh. I have no excuse for myself. I have no explanation.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's that one. I've got one more. Joe, you have one more, right?
Yeah, I've just got the one.
And Jimmy, you have one more?
That's correct.
Well, why don't we go with Joe?
Okay. My last award goes to the best quarantine show.
Ooh.
How's that
that
criteria? How's that criteria work?
I guess my thinking was the best show to go and watch while being quarantined at home.
So like binge-worthy qualities.
Binge-worthy, but also like this is the type of show that with like being home and being socially distant, this is kind of like fantasy fulfilling for like, man, wouldn't it be great if like times are like that again?
Oh. We didn't watch The West Wing. Huh.
Which I guess, that's pretty general because any of these shows that are, take place more than 6 months ago are just like, I would take any of those times. But like this show specifically features like types of events that we cannot have now, but would be.
I mean, then
so
I
much
assume it's
fun.
party. I assume it's Party Down then, right?
Yeah, Party Down. Because it, is a show about some jokers working for a catering company. So without even seeing the rest of the show, I figure it's a lot of like large parties and like just people sharing food. Seems great. I'd just like to watch that and watch people.
At all.
Yeah. It just seems fun to watch people walk up to a buffet. That seems like a great show.
Quarantine's been so rough on Joe, he misses buffets.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it's so true.
Joe, when's the last time you were at a buffet pre-quarantine? You think?
Probably not too far before quarantine. Probably sometime in February, because like at work we used to go to that buffet at the mall a lot.
Mall buffet.
Yeah,
that's like,
it's like
top-notch buffet.
It's like Great Mandarin or whatever. It is like, it's like the food quality probably not great, but every Friday they have like this like shrimp thing, which is delicious. So yeah, so we would go on Fridays and eat that shrimp.
Okay.
So, but this is just like a Leanne Chin type place? Like, are you serving yourself?
No, it's a buffet.
Well,
But
yeah,
at a
you serve
buffet,
yourself
you
in a
usually serve
buffet.
yourself.
Oh, yes, that's what I mean. I guess I've never been to a
Oh.
Lian Chin that was actually a buffet. It's like,
No, I don't. I'm just picturing like in a mall. That's what it would be like. Like they
Oh,
have all the
oh.
stuff out, like a giant panda or whatever, but
Giant
they're still
panda.
dishing it.
No, it's a
I
buffet
didn't know
and
that
like
malls could
it's like
have
a seating
buffets.
area.
It seems
Yeah.
unsanitary.
No, it has its own like storefront, like a Gap. Like you still walk inside it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
A little better.
You can still step inside of it.
Yeah.
All right, my last one is the Out of Place, Out of Time award, and that goes to a actor in a show.
Did you watch?
Joe knows it
Ghost
already.
Yeah, I know.
Joe, I think I made Joe's awards for him.
Yeah, maybe. It's a good thing I came up with these like shoddy last minute awards because maybe I would have come up with the same ones that you did.
Jimmy, when we were watching one of these shows, there was a character specifically that was like, do you belong in this time period? It seems weird.
Yep. That just made me peek out so bad when I realized what it was. It's a Penny Dreadful, right?
Yeah.
That's correct. The award goes to Josh Hartnett in Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, for his out of time, out of place performance in Penny Dreadful.
It's not too many like insane big city hipsters walking around in like whatever the time period was
Yeah.
for this.
In his defense, he does his one thing that he does.
He was a werewolf in his defense. So
Yeah, werewolves just like they look extra handsome and clean.
and like they're in exactly the time that it is now when it's being filmed.
Yeah. Just to picture his character in that show, just like he's probably got like a cell phone in his pocket at the time. Like it wouldn't be out of place for him to just like pull out an iPhone and like look something up real quick.
Everything else is period except for Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. But only he can like do that stuff. He can give information, but only he can look at his phone.
yeah, you can't like hand the co-actor, like the supporting actor, like the cell phone and be like, could you like map out where we like, could you navigate?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And our horse-drawn buggy that we're about to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I would love that, and they just like never address it at all. Everyone else
Yeah.
is completely period and following those rules and laws, except Josh Hartnett, and they just never call attention.
Yeah,
He's
no
just, like,
character.
He's just tweeting in the back of scenes.
Just like, what are we? Is this whole show a mistake? What's happening right now?
I would watch that show.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I'd
And
first
my-
and
I'm-
last it.
I'm kind of interested in it already. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this.
That's a good one. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that's my last one. So, what's your last one, Jimmy?
Ooh. My last, first and lasties of our season 6 first and lasties is Jimmy's new Frasier award.
New
And that-
Frasier.
Yeah. And I feel like I've talked
man.
about this, but maybe not.
It's totally psych.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Psych is so good, you guys. It's like the feel-good buddy comedy crime drama that you never knew you needed. It's Scrubs for crime. Is what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, that sounds like an apt description. To be honest, it's like Crime Scrubs.
And it's excellent. It's like got all the pop culture references and tropes, and it's like very tongue-in-cheek about it. And like there's a great will they won't they with Juliet and Sean. Even like the titles are super fun. There's a spooky Shaun of the Dead, but so Gus is the other guy. and it's Sean and Gus of the Dead is the title. Or there's a football episode, and it's called Any Given Friday at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central, because that's when the show airs.
Like a show with good titles.
It's just
I can get down with that.
Good.
I like shows that have fun with it. You know, if they're good and they're having fun with it, that's like it's a double whammy.
Yeah. There's a great they build a great like arc enemy vibe with like the serial killer who's like, because Sean's whole deal, you know, if you didn't listen to the episode, was that he's pretending to be psychic, but he's actually just a really great detective, and that's how he gets into getting to work with the police department and making some like private PI money off of it. But then there's this he's a detective, serial killer who is like becomes his arch enemy and like gives him all these crazy things to do. And that becomes like the series, the season finales, and they're super fun.
Oh, so he's like throughout the series, not even just like a season.
They're like season finales, I think, from like season 3 on, maybe. And then in the movie that they did. And then there's another movie that's slated to come out next year.
Psych still lives on. Jimmy can't even finish Psych until the new movie comes out.
No.
That's fun. I mean, yeah. I mean, Psych was a good show, especially if you're kind of like want to dig some sort of like Sherlock vibe too. Like,
yeah,
you know, it definitely gave you it's a modern day take on a like Sherlock comedy, basically.
Yeah, all the twists.
Nice. I would still, that's still on my like list of I should go back to episodes from this season. That, and I feel like I wanted to go back and watch Penny Dreadful, and now that we're actually in October, you know, we're in spooky month.
It's time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that does say the beginning of season 7. We might as well just like hit it spooky hard, right? Because season 7's full on.
Start spooky.
October. Start spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Spook time.
Spook time. So those are all our first and lasties for TV shows that we have on this episode. But there is one more to give out, and that is the winner between us 3 of season 7. Who guessed the best?
Season 6.
Season 6. I was just gonna give a
Jump
spoiler
ahead.
for season 7. I'm a mind reader now. I'm psychic. This was pretty close, I will say, until you gave me the final points on Ghost Rider, the one I wasn't in. I did not know who was going to win this show. Or this season. It's between the 3 of us, there's only a 3-point difference, which is pretty good.
Is that just because we all got such a low score for the season?
No, you know, here's the deal. We all should be striving to, you know, hopefully get at least 1 point per episode. That really should be what we should get. We do 4. I mean, we do 4 predictions every single week. So really, if we're amazing, technically we should be there's 100 points essentially up for grabs.
Yeah,
we don't come anywhere close to that. But in 3rd place, well, I mean, in 4th place is Claire with 2, of course.
Participation.
Not bad.
Yeah. Hey, not bad. She was on 2. Claire did what we should do. Claire was in 2 episodes, I think, this year, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
And she got 2 points. So she did it. She got 1 point per episode.
Yeah, based on the average, she's doing great.
Based on the average, Claire actually wins, technically. But in 3rd place with 18 points was Joe.
Noted.
Noted.
Well done.
Take notes.
train harder next year.
Yeah, come back and do better, Joe. Come back and do better. And between first place and second place, there was a 0.5 point difference.
Oh wow,
half a point.
What?
And I was actually like, we have not prepared for any form of tiebreaker ever. What do we? How do we do this? I guess luck would have it that we did not have to deal with it. Jimmy, last week you scored 3 points in Power Rangers Wild Force, which was the best showing anybody had done in a single episode this season. Very good.
Crushed it.
Unfortunately, it was 0.5 points, not enough. And I won the season with 21 points, and you came in second with 20.5 points.
I got a half a point somewhere.
You got according to my spreadsheet, you got a half a point in the Terminator, the Sarah. Oh, dang it! I thought I was gonna do it. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV show.
That's why that show got canceled. Impossible.
Because you can't say it.
Yeah,
it's a terrible name. Impromptu first and lasty show with the worst name. Terminator.
Yeah,
the Sarah
Terminator,
Connor
etc.,
Chronicles.
etc.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you all. I'll expect that my award will come in the mail.
What are
And
the
Josh Hartnett, yours is coming as well.
what's the split of seasons? I don't even know. I think I've won at least once, right?
I have
For
a
sure.
quick view of the last 3 seasons. I have season 3 to 6 in what I'm looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't quite remember
Are you
what
the reigning
seasons
champ?
1 and 2. So yes, in season 5 I was the reigning champ. So I defended my title successfully in this season.
Back to back.
Back to back. Season 4, Jimmy, it was you that was in the winner.
Okay.
And then in season 3, it was me again.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe, I think you won season 2,
Yeah, maybe.
I think Joe might have won season 1.
or maybe season 1. You
Mm-hmm.
won one of those two, I'm pretty sure. But we'd have to go. I'd have to open a different document that I don't know where it's located, and or
If it
view the
exists.
tape. View the tape somewhere, So I'm not going to do either one of those. So
Listeners
Ooh.
who all listened to the first and lasties a million times, let us know.
yeah, someone won that. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the deal, Joe. We have no record of you winning, so buck up and do better in season 7, buddy. It's season of Joe, season
Yeah.
7.
I'm just gonna train more. I'm gonna do some like exhibition first and last on my own, and then try to make some predictions. Just get some practice in.
You're gonna rewatch shows you've already watched and try to guess and see.
Yeah.
Like, I can do this.
Where did I go wrong? Gotta watch the tape. Love it. Also,
I believe in you.
now we're officially we've passed our 3rd anniversary of the
Mhm.
pod. I think last week we were coming up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
We did it. We're 3 today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suck it. We did it.
They said we couldn't do it. Actually, they said please stop doing it, and here we are.
You
They
can't
said,
stop us.
They said, give them COVID, they'll stop. And we said, no, we're just staying at home, and we'll still keep doing it.
This is a Zoom pod now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. We'll never see our friends in real life again.
Aw.
That is kind of sad. But yeah. Well, I guess that'll do it, everybody, for the season 6 of First and Last. I thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure. And guess what? Next week we'll see you again for episode 1 of season 7.
Yeah. Probably
Episode
something
1.
spooky.
Yeah, almost for surely a spooky. We'll probably do a couple weeks of spooky since it'll be just that'll be October.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually curious on. It's too much work to look at a calendar right now. I almost can't do it. I'm trying to do the intro, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have 3 weeks actually looking at it. We'll have 3 weeks of spooky time
Mm-hmm.
coming up. This will come out on the 7th of October, and then we have 3 more weeks of of spooky month. So season 7 starting with scaring your faces off.
Are you gonna put the spooky theme on this one?
Ooh.
Yes. Bring it
Should
back.
I?
mean, it's technically
on the
October.
First and Lasties? Yeah, that's true.
It is an October one. It'll just be like, wait, why is the spooky theme going on?
It'll be weird that we don't reference it until the very end.
Yeah. It'll be very weird. It'll be very weird. Well, hey, we'll see what I remember about what we talked about while I'm editing this podcast.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So we'll see. Also, it's just really how am I feeling? How am I feeling about it? So, if you liked the regular one, you're welcome. I put it in, and if you like the spooky one, you're welcome. I put that one in, and if you like the other one, sorry, I forgot about you. So that's that.
I hope you just disperse and just remember to put it in sometimes. Like we'll end with the spooky for sure. I think when you listen and realize.
Yeah, it'll probably just be the end song. It'll just be the spooky one. That'll be the outro for this. Okay, well, if you want to hit us up and do a show suggestion, especially if you want a specific spooky show, hit us up soon on Gmail or on Twitter at FNL Podcast, FANDL Podcast. And you can also just, chat with us if you'd like. We've gotten show suggestions. That's a hard thing to say, too. We've gotten those before, and we try to get those out pretty much as soon as possible. So, and we like to hear from you. But until then, maybe tell us what your favorite first and lasty was this year, and tell us how it definitely wasn't Newsroom or Gotham or whatever. And, we won't change this episode, but we'll take it to heart. But okay, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week for season 7, episode 1, first and last. Goodbye.